because it wasn't correct. Alright. Okay, so Ace Attorney, Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, Episode 1, new game, Ooh, that's kinda loud. Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. March 14th, 1:16 AM. We don't know where it is. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Sorry, maybe it wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. March 14th, 2:05 AM. Prosecutors Building, 12th floor hallway. Alright, let's do this. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door's unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? What the? What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases in some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 AM, High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Sir, are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. This is Dick Gumshoe. He is a detective at the local precinct. And the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... to your office. It's totally trashed. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Oh, it sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? Crime scene, my office. Is it really coincidence that the murder took place in my office? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. Say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really, especially because of this. The key to your office. The office key. For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? By finding the connection between two pieces of information, and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? First, I recall information through the logic button and then connect them together. Now, to touch the logic button and recall the facts. The crime scene. The fact that the crime scene occurred in my office, yet you need an office key, attests to the importance of this location. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks, which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? The killer's goal. Why did this happen in my office? What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! Begin investigation. High Prosecutor's Office is room 1002. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Let's look around here. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What have we here? What do we have here? Yeah, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a quinky-dink. Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. hear that our victim was a detective, just like you. The victim was a detective according to this badge and ID, but he Faith is a precinct detective. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yeah, but until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Crime scene notes are jotted down on my organizer. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all of the evidence I find gathered either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. I don't believe it, I packed those files on these shelves so tight that not even an earthquake can make them fall off, but just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all. A problem, to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Signs of a struggle. My files are a mess, pointing to a struggle between the killer and the victim and the killer. Oh, and I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. I mean, this just renders all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know! I was issued the exact same model, I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by this precinct's detectives. Revolver. Found at the crime scene, it's the same model as those used by precinct detectives. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now, to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Well, I think we can reason the fact that the revolver was owned by the victim, given the fact that he was a police detective. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives, could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Sir, this guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. The victim's revolver data jotted down in my organizer. Let's see what else else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you've got to look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use these scroll wheels to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the sidebar and the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out to get the nitty-gritty. Let's see, I guess we could look at the clip. It looks like only one round was fired from this. So the killer killed Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him. Since the guy knew how to handle a gun, I enhanced judgment. We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. I guess this is about all we're going to find out. We should send the body to Jim! Why? Oh, why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body?! Don't just talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. I'm sure, just in a bloodstained suit, pal. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jack Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here is my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor. Detective Tecumseh, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess your office. Yes, that is correct. Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not! I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And only the owner of this office, or the office, has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you then! You're Jim's killer! No way, pal, you've got it all wrong. Everyone, calm down! Mr. Portsman, correct? If you are a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all of the rumors about you. You're the great, genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call it truce and work together, okay? Now how about a handshake to seal the deal? No. A pleasure to work with you. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on then, it's your room after all. Thank you, I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir! Up top! I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. I should probably give them some space. What do we have over here? I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relax on this sofa. The thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too, just for a little while, sir? Detective Gumshoe! You know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us have time to spare, let alone rest. You're right, sir. We'll work hard to be a real trip at the end. Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. Ah, your jacket, sir. What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra-special jacket that you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting it's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. Any scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off. That's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. Right here. This is it. This bullet shows where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should touch the to-do spot with conviction. And when I have found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. For the same before, I only had one shot. EUREKA! This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim, and the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right. However, this gun was only fired once. Hey, that's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun brought over tonight? Another handgun, not from the victim's gun that I found. Could there be another gun in play here? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. It's a secret safe? Oh, I smell money. I'll spare us the trouble and just say nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that. Talk about dusty. I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust once in a while. I have no idea there's a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So where did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session. That's it. Talk about squashing hopes and dreams. Secret safe data jotted down my organizer. I won't trust it, but I've inspected every suspicious looking cranny. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad, don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yet there's this thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Wiped fingerprints. All of the fingerprints on this have been wiped clean off. Secret safe data updated my organizer. As I thought, it appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Let's think for a minute here. Well, perhaps the killer's goal was what was in the safe. Given that the wiped fingerprints would indicate that someone had actually been at this safe. I believe I have figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. Motive theft? The culprit tried to open my safe. Was the killer's motive theft? I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Mr. Watson, a word if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see, it'll be for the both of us. Now then, you want to talk to me about something? No, that's alright. I feel like I'm interrupting the conversation. Oh, it's your trophy, the, Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors, and it's not a trophy, it's a shield. Listen, this is the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so sick, so I'm going to just try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. It's been a while since I've sat at this desk. Oh, how I've missed you. It's so tiny that it looks newer than when I first bought it. yeah, that thing's so polished that it makes Mears jealous. Don't tell me you had no other work the entire time I was away, detective. My job is to protect your office, sir. And you did such a good job protecting it that a murder occurred. That's harsh, sir. I have to admit the desk has never looked better, so I guess I can't dock his pay. Ouch, they even looked over your chest set. I had it all set up ready for when you got back, and I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the game to tax my mental acuity much. It's the victim's gun. Yeah, I guess there's one more, right? we certainly can't discount the possibility. However, we must then ask ourselves, why would the killer leave evidence behind? It's not exactly something you'd put down and forget about. Not unless we're talking about you, detective. There's something unusual about the killer's actions, and none of it is adding up. What does it all mean? I've already finished examining this area, but I've never heard struck again. Let's think about this here. I will be right back. I'm back. Sorry guys, I was helping with dinner for my dad's birthday, so let's see. Let's see, do the sides of a struggle have anything to do with the motive for theft? Let's try it, because my logic here is that perhaps if the files are a mess, does that necessarily mean it was because of the struggle? There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh, you mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir. I'm going to shelve files like I've never seen before, even at a library. Sure. Let's just give that a try. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. No matter how much we may lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth.
So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth?
First, we copy and restore the files to their rightful place.
You got it! Here, let me help.
So this file goes here, and that book goes there.
You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect that the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. Then the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. But you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Oh, perhaps the gun right here. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? EUREKA! What? That's... shoot. This is clearly where the contradiction lies. I don't really see what's so wrong with that spot. Ha! You don't understand. You see, therein lies the contradiction. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, it'd be nice if you just admit when you're wrong. That wasn't a mistake. That was me keeping you on your toes, detective. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I mean, perhaps? Maybe it wasn't. EUREKA! Of course, I was wondering if that was it. EUREKA! There was clearly a contradiction with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see? Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. What if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption, and it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem with the bullet hole's position? The order of the files. Of course. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. Did I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh. Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot begin with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down here after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They are exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they're arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'd be okay to drop the body back up to how it was? Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the convincing, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet holes now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime, but why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. What's this over here? This... What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood?
I'd say it's some incredibly incriminating evidence.
Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait, there's gotta be some mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, say something, sir. It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Stolen file data jotted down in my organizer. Investigation complete. Investigation complete.
Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party.
If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up.
Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say?
If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reason.
You got it!
I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you going to do? Cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain to me, sir? Maybe some other time. Mr. Portsmouth, if you're ready. If you don't have the time, you could have just said so, sir. You could just say so, sir. Argument, Mr. Portsmouth's logic. Argument, Mr. Portsmouth's logic.
Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Further, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice.
You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer?
I can hear Jim's voice, and he's calling for his killer's arrest.
Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsmouth? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. I will find the flaw in this man's logic, and expose it with credible evidence. rebutted Mr. Portsmouth oddly. I think I said a clear day.
Thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding.
Objection! Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsmouth, but there's a serious flaw in your logic.
Bring a bit of decorum into this, I see. No problem, I'm game.
I can't help but find it odd.
Excuse me?
Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking, I get it. Ha ha ha!
If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file?
What? That's impossible!
So close, yet so far. What's impossible, Mr. Portsmouth?
Nothing.
The files on that shelf are all about a certain case, where the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner. I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine.
Objection? It's possible they could have taken the file before committing the murder.
I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be as proof. Yeah, I mean the S is gone, and there's only half an H. If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on files. Especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood. Which means, what exactly? What does that mean, this dying message? It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene. That's so low, I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir. I'm gonna get him, sir, you'll see. I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time. Well, Mr. Portsmouth.
Brilliant. Absolutely splendid. Logic deserving of Olympic gold.
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed.
Meh, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes.
Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
But you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up, however.
What is it this time? Are you still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me. The treasure just proved that I'm innocent, pal.
Whoa! Haha! That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence.
Then why do I sense that you still have something to say?
Well, I was thinking, did you know there's one other person with a key to this office?
One other person?
Hey, you there.
Yes, sir. What is it, sir?
Would you kindly fetch and escort that lovely young lady here for me?
A lady?
building security. Think of her as a material witness.
Security? Did you say security? No! Stop it, pal! Don't! What's wrong with him all of a sudden?
I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security.
Detective Gumshoes, sir. Maggie.
Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight.
I see. And your point is?
My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building.
What?
If you're not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room. That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it.
Can we, take that as... Oh, hey, Grant. Can we take that as a confession, Detective?
It wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal. So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problems with that, right? Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics.
Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. That girl's the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason.
Argument. Reason for suspicion.
It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as our prime suspect. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all that more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message.
So you're saying she used the master key? Master key data jotted down my organizer.
Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say?
That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well.
That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me.
I wonder if there's anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. Yeah, he was here a minute ago. It seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsman to give me more details is to press him. Rather reason for suspicion. Let's see, what do we need more information about?
It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. Hold it!
Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key?
There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird?
That's true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to. What's that supposed to mean?
Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked with something unrelated.
What do you mean, unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
But you can't really trust her not to tell lies, plus I hate wasting time.
Should I hear this bird out? Ask for more details. Not so fast. I too am interested in hearing what this bird has to say.
Didn't I just say it'd be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies.
I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 AM, sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this is to be an important piece of testimony, don't you?
I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words.
I'm not lying, sir.
Objection? If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now.
I don't quite know. It just reappeared all of a sudden, sir.
Ha! A likely story. And where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things. I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it. Yeah, pal, trust me, you don't know what, or you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive.
Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
But you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? Whoa. I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe.
It is as Mr. Portsman says, Detective. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft, but I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own.
Her intent? From the messed up shelves to the wiped down safe? I'd say thievery.
I just have one question in that case. How would you know about that?
Objection!
Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something?
Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway.
That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe. The existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan.
But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down.
I highly doubt that. I'd say that the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, only the bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about that safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either.
Then are you proposing that the killer is a, prosecutor?
Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind now?
Curses! Why? What made you?
What's with the angry face all of a sudden?
It's all my fault!
What do you mean?
It's Jim! He knew about the existence of these secret safes.
What did you just say?
We're partners! Like inseparable conjoined twins! That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes.
Then that means...
Yeah, I know, I had only just told him too. Obviously it was wrong of me to tell him. I still can't quite believe it. But the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim.
How dare you? He's dead, have some respect. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief.
were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird.
Excuse me?
I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing's going a bit too far even in your risky profession.
What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder?
Yes and no.
I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun.
I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it?
No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that. Not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have a key to this office.
Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? It was Jim who stole the master key. Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him.
Mr. Portman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief?
I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense.
Has he no honor?
Whoa. Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out?
You can't kick us out. This is Mr. Edgeworth's office.
But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects to varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show.
Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit. Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself. But, sir... We have no choice but to accommodate his request, for now.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful.
Mark my words, Mr. Portsman, we will meet again.
If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Whoa. Now don't disappoint me, you hear?
To be continued.
Oh, flippy sass.
Save yes. March 14th, 4:18 a.m. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. What lack that I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Begin investigation. Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Is that the missing O series file, sir? No doubt about it. The bloody letters marked as clear as day. seem to be a few missing pages inside. Our thief only took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these O files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly, it's just a collection of cold case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them safer, or keeping them as they were. That means the thief must also want the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. What is a basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. Harry also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in the hallway.
It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth.
To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly post-haste.
This sounds like a messy case you've got in your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open.
How gracious! I will keep you off my mind. Who is this guy again? What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? So then, when and why was it moved to the office? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the offers drag it up here recently. So the poor guy had to bring it up himself. All the way up to the 12th floor. This office. 1203, 1203. Hey Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portman's, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. Let's talk a little bit about if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to the presentment. The victim. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Just once I'd have loved to play with him. It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir. On second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in at all with him, or all that well with him. That's kind of sad. Maggie Bird. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you're an acquaintance with the detective. She was under my supervision back when she was still in the Air Force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago, right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal, just when I've become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know, and just when I thought I'd finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. Solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Well, let's talk about the key. This becomes a point of contention. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 AM, sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 AM. Just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times it was not just gone but stolen, sir. The master key was stolen. This key went missing from approximately 1 AM until 2:30 AM. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say? Except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I'd used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key. Well, let's see about that then. Used the master key. What did you mean by you used the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. It's my job as a security guard, right? Ah! What is it? That's right, I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me what was about, quickly. Forgetful Mr. Portsman. It was around 12 AM. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him. No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see. And then, what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 AM, I think. So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Use the master key. This key was used to unlock Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Portsman's office at 12 AM and 1:30 AM. Wait, what was it? Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Wait, hold on. This confuses me because the times overlap, and that shouldn't be. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir, you said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 AM, correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I totally forgot all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So in actuality, you never did relock the door then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Mr. Portsman's office data jotted on my organizer. Something's not right here. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Room 1203, I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office? Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Well, that reminds me, Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you're already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because like his birthday is December 2nd. Yep, it's gotta be. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Ugh, why am I even wasting time talking about this? The door's locked tight. Wait, didn't she just say that the door was locked tight? I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, Mr. Edgeworth. This is the office of a high prosecutor detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get in. Aha, so I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Well, this contradicts her story. This is possibly not connected to any of the evidence I hold. Eureka! There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. Perhaps the prints on the number plate. The prints on the number plate. They will tell us all that we need to know. Everything, really? Like what, sir? Like, well, for example, dents such as... Well, we know for sure that Detective Cumberbatch's dinner will only consist of instant noodles. Wow, that was amazing, sir. How did you know? Was that supposed to be a joke? Just hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, that's it. Now then, we should get back to doing what we need to do, and that is, we need to examine these. I suppose the prints... Oh, the prints on the doorknob, of course. I cannot see it. I overthought it. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you pal. Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what did you find? What did you find out? There's no need for such a belligerent nostril flare, Detective. Sir, I've found only Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob. So only 2 people's prints were found on this door, on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. Huh? I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, certain other person's print should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose print should also be on this doorknob? Take that! Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean... Yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Mr. Portsman's office data updated my organizer. What have we here? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. What's this? What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. It looks like a note from the victim. Not the theory sounds bad, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're on. Guess I'll catch up with you. Yeah, it's from Mr. Portsman. Note left by victim data jotted down my organizer. What's this? What's this? That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I'd better take note of this. Basketball hoop data jotted on my organizer. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis, it doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. That's probably because it's a basketball. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, Detective. Sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean his toys up after he's done playing. I think we've reached the end of this conversation. Well, wait a minute. If the culprit rearranged the files twice, and if we think about the fact there are two handguns, not exactly a shining example of the perfect line of logic. I checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take a little look. We've already talked about this. Let's see. We've already talked about this. Let's see. Until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. 1202. These four numbers on the number plate alone proclaim this to be my office. Whoops, hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. They have to be able to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning if the door really was opened with a key, did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Mission complete. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat. With the real world of this case. You know who the killer is? Well, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsmouth. What, Mr. Portsmouth? I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logic. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourself. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. Hold on, I'm gonna take like a break until 7:35. Be right back. 14th, 5:12 a.m., High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letters, sir.
So, well. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Up top. Alright, okay. Looking good. You there, take care of this. Well, if it isn't, well, Detective Gumshoe.
End of the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now.
Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke?
It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jack Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case.
You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way.
You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your crew cap.
Who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor's Montfort and Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. Shit, well. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know?
Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be doing using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up.
So, well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything?
Testimony. Mr. Portsman's rebuttal.
I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but... there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here.
Sorry, but we are not finished. Sorry, but we are not finished yet.
Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something?
I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on, with evidence. Rebuttal. Mr. Portsman's at rebuttal.
I have no... there's a mountain of evidence. Okay, let's... Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here?
Objection! With the master key. I believe you're able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection? Wait, hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know.
Precisely. You're able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. Take that! You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes?
Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know?
But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? What?
You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we?
I'm certain it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir.
See, Miss Bird backs up my story.
Yet what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted?
Ha! How do you suppose I did that?
By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to try to give a very strong impression that the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsmouth used to make Miss Bird think that it was his room? Take that! What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on me. It's an object perfectly suited to just sit outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. God! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to Mr. Portsmouth's. There are sides the hoop has been moved. To sit in front of my office, to be sure.
I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture's a little off the racetrack.
Testimony. Conjectures rebuttal.
Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me.
So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he?
Sure, well. I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears.
My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Rebuttal. Conjectures rebuttal. Oh, it's almost too easy.
After that, I was in my room the entire time.
Then what of this note? Objection! That was a lie.
What are you talking about? How is it a lie?
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsmouth.
A note?
It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came... You were not in your room when the victim came to call you, so then, where were you and what were you doing?
Gah!
Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you.
Objection! Objection? That's just nonsense. You have no evidence I made the girl open your door for me.
Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence.
No way!
This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you. Take that! I had your door dusted for prints.
My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time.
You're right, I didn't find anything, and definitely not Miss Bird's prints.
Her prints? What do they have to do with anything?
Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened the door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Further, all of the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume because it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? Your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from your room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsmouth, you killed Mr. Faith's silence. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. Just what's so funny, pal?
Show, well. Will that look of stiff seriousness in the face of this office's finest prosecutor? As he makes a huge mistake in accusing me is simply too much to bear. Show, well. There's nothing else like it in the world.
What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already.
Show, well. And as I said earlier, it's also circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I'd wiped that knob down well. I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own fingerprints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example.
Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway?
Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse.
Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size.
But you can't prove that, can you?
Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Boltzmann makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it.
Show, well. Besides, I have an airtight alibi.
Airtight, you say?
I only realized that I had one just now as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner.
Testimony, Portsman's alibi.
If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's a perfect alibi.
Do you really think it's that perfect?
Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself.
Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m.
You see?
All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Rebuttal Portsman's alibi. I believe we have a new user, Portland 18. I know you joined a while ago, I just wanted to say that. Hello.
And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit.
Hold it! It is as you say, however.
Yes, however, you're the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So, well. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw?
It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection! Oh, come now, I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you?
I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here.
Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. So, well. It only matters that you ran to the culprit.
Yeah, I'm always wary about that to see if they're alright.
As Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's a perfect alibi.
Hold it! Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony.
And it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. Remember, detective said they saw you at around that time.
See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Gah.
Portsman's alibi may seem perfect at first glance, but I know there's a hole in it somewhere. All I need to do is press a little and see what comes of it.
If memory serves, you came back to this office around 2 a.m., correct?
Hold it! You are correct, it was around 2 a.m.
Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time.
I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2.
Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs.
Hold it! So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit?
Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building. I headed straight for the precinct.
Impossible! He actually does have the perfect alibi.
What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face?
Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we've reached the end of the line and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there!
Sir!
Please escort the young lady out. Remember, be gentle.
Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn the situation around. If I only had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? Mr. Portsman's alibi. The intruder I met could not have been Mr. Portsman, then who could it have been? I need to calmly think this through one more time and with logic. So I think this is what we were getting to before. If we look at the fact that there's the files in disarray, aka once before and once. Yeah, I was wondering, but I felt like that was too obvious. So, if the files were in disarray before the murder and after the murder, which seems illogical at first, but if we think of the fact that perhaps there were 2 different people, or perhaps it's the fact that there could be 2 guns, and the fact that it wasn't Mr. Portsman. Let's try this. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. Another visitor. Maybe the victim and his killer weren't the only visitors to my office tonight. So if that's the case, then it would make sense why the files were in disarray twice, once before and once after, as both people would have different motives and things that they were after. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it. once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back. Objection! Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case.
Great, so you finally come to your senses.
Mr. Edgeworth? Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? Yeah, oh, don't worry. This is on the computer, but I'm not pirating it. I just want to say, because I've had some questions about it in the past, but I've purchased all the games that I've streamed thus far. I've streamed the first 3, and then this one. I've purchased all of them, so I'm not copyrighting. Anyway, let's see. Oh, really? I think you'd be able to find it on Amazon, or, Wait, so you've played... and apologize and whatnot. Yeah, I haven't played that one either yet. I was gonna stream Apollo Justice because we finished a trilogy like a month and a half ago, but or just because it's like the order in which the games came out, but I did this one first because it's the timeline. So these games come before Apollo Justice. Yeah, no, Edgeworth 2 is really good. I played it, like, half a year ago or something, last year, something like that, almost a year ago. Of course, it's a fan translation because they haven't localized it yet, so, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's good. I'll stream it, during Christmas break if you'll be around, so, if you want to whatever, follow. If you also notice a link below, I have to my Discord, so that's the Phoenix Wright Discord. There will be notifications and whatnot. And I guess I should put my YouTube link in here just in case you want to see the other episodes. I know I'm totally like advertising here. I just wanted to show you just in case you wanted to see them. Hold on. Aw, thanks. A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained an entry into my office.
Objection! Objection? Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know.
If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. But yeah, these games do a really good job of expanding on the Edgeworth character arc and seeing how he's changed, especially from Trials and Tribulations to Dual Destinies, because like in his process of becoming chief prosecutor and whatnot, because the other games like had a lot of his story arc, but these ones are mainly focused on that, so it's really cool. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario. Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me. Also, the music is unique in these ones too. They're really good on them. And interestingly, the testimonies, instead of just having Moderato and Allegro, they have Moderato, Allegro, and Presto. My return and Allegro are variations of each other, and Presto is usually really different from them. They're really good. They're really good, the Presto ones. Sorry, I'm a little hyper ADD. Anyway. Which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else. Who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsmouth, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into his office to check it out. Correct, and as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsmouth. Mr. Faith probably let his guard down, but Mr. Portsmouth was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. I mean, logically, you'd think he'd rather get caught for stealing than getting caught for murder, obviously, but, you know, what else? Criminals always try to hide their ways no matter what, whether it be through lying or obstruction of justice or hiding. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsmouth wielded the gun and left it behind as he made his exit. Also, another thing, another thing about these games, they take a really unique look at from a gameplay standpoint, because you move around and there are so many different environments, and it's just so much. It seems more interactive because it's not just the still shot. I mean, that's a really nice style too, but this is just interesting how you can actually move around and see characters and stuff like that interacting in the environment, which is kind of interesting, and it makes investigating a lot more interactive, which I guess is the whole point of these games. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Yeah, and I think the developers alluded to his attorney investigations, Miles Edgeworth, Investigations 3. So that'll be with like the 3DS kind of graphics, or even Switch, whatever they're doing. Oh, that's gonna be cool. And there'll be return of characters that showed up in previous games that I think you'll respect, because some characters just feel like they didn't get enough time. One of my favorites in particular. You might be able to guess, I don't know. Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room. This is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir? Yes, this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsmouth left, the door to my office still remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen O file, right, sir? Technically it's 0 file. Yeah, it's 0 file, but I like saying O file. O file just sounds better. Correct. Only, just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shelves getting messed up twice in the 2 bullets. It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsmouth? Also, because of the nature of these games, how it's not just in the courtroom, and well, the games operate in a similar fashion where you defend someone and you prove someone guilty, but in the way that they're not just in the courtroom, they expand into a much wider universe. So the cases operate on a much wider scale, and you'll see that pretty quickly here. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsmouth? The person I met was just a thief, and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. Because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection?
What's so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything.
Of course it does, it's Mr. Edgeworth after all.
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Or circumstantial.
It is. And in the second game they add even another feature, so it has a lot of new, unique gameplay aspects. Sometimes it's a little hard just as like any contradiction is, but it adds another difficulty level to the game that makes it more interactive, figuring it out and whatnot.
Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right. It would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must.
You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct.
Testimony Portsman's Alibi, Part 2. Here's the presto. The presto. It sounds a lot different than the modern delivery. It's really good. Sorry.
Okay. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left.
So now he's going back against everything that he said before. So now he's trying to make a quick escape and not accuse any of the characters and just go after this fake thief. Or this thief that we had. Alright, let's see what happens now. So you think we should be out here looking... So you think we should be out there looking for the thief?
Of course! Now isn't the time to be wasting time on dead-end discussions.
I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Rebuttal Portsman's Alibi, Part 2. Let's see, what can we make of this testimony here? So, we've talked about this note at length about how it proved that he was not in his room, but we've actually paid little attention to what the actual contents are. Well, like, what does this mean? The 3 pieces of evidence by, well, like, what is he talking about? Let's try to press some things.
And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs.
Hold it! Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith?
That's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. They're on those. It's one of his habits.
And what of the evidence he brought?
There were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant.
Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks.
He brought me 2 items, a gun and a pendant, that are related to yesterday's case.
But the note says 3. Intriguing. Objection! Only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is you fail.
Excuse me?
You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me.
What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you.
Well, here's a piece of it I think you should read carefully. It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman.
I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic.
Where is the missing piece of evidence?
It's...
You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe! You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe.
What? Don't come any closer, I'm warning you.
This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me.
No!
Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally prove to that, or point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last note into his coffin. Let's see, what does it say? Oh wait, the KG8 incident. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence for that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once-over. Thorough once-over? I've never heard of that. We're just gonna look up if that has ever appeared anywhere. Huh. Yeah, it's just looking. I've just never heard that. Huh. That's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No, you've got it all wrong.
No amount of denial can save you now. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his person until you killed him?
You know very well there's no way to prove that.
Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints? If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith.
No! Impossible! I'm dying!
March 14th, 5:47 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, Room 1202. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back, and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to collect a few of Mr. Faith's prints and fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Oh, it was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through. I mean, I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsmouth really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really good or vague reasons. No, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession! We never did get around to asking what his reason for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clamped up. Although we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh, well. With Mr. Portsmouth not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsmouth isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. Probably the stolen O series file, I want to say. Take that! The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. And what happened to these stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Yes? Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card... What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, Detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about? Yes, it is the mark of the great thief Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end. A modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with a single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. 2 days ago. The end. Okay, we'll go into a little bit into the next episode. A brand new episode has been added. Turnabout Airlines. Save, yes. Are you guys liking this game so far? Because I think we have 2 in here too. Airline Fusion. Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. Episode 2, Turnabout Airlines. Are you still there, Portland? Yeah, okay. Okay, let's keep going. Episode 2, Turnabout Airlines. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief EUREKA. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day 2 days ago. Days earlier. Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Thank you for flying iFly Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. March 12th. 6:13 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Huh. Slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight, though admittedly, I am less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. What's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. How did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? My head. Why won't this headache go away? I'll take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. But how long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your He's dead. Please calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without concrete facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! No! You have it all wrong. It wasn't me. March 12th, 6:41 a.m. Flight I-390, second floor, first class. Everyone, I am sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda De Niro. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I caught a glimpse and it was a murder. What? A murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence, so until we're out of this succeeded.
But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off!
Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit.
I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm?
My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor, and I assure you I'm not the killer.
Ha! Being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now you listen here, I'm not the killer. I simply found the body.
So you say. However, I am sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear it on my honor as a professional flight attendant.
Oh, is that right?
I know what I saw. And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up.
What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about?
We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation.
Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tenero, is it?
Yes?
I was wondering if you might give me a chance.
A chance? To do what?
A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you meant by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can a professional flight attendant decide if you really call this action righteous?
You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick.
Of course, as you wish.
Good. Very well then, let's get started.
I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. That certainly doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred.
Testimony of what Miss Tenero saw. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off of the murder weapon. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land.
That's it? That's her evidence?
I don't think you could ask for a more perfect witness testimony. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth?
Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it.
Rebuttal what Miss Tenero said. Here, I'm gonna save state really quickly. I'll be right back. Give me like 5 minutes. I'm gonna get a drink and whatnot. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Let's see. The scene I saw in front of me the scene I saw in front of the elevator. It was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. My apologies, sweetheart, but that was not the murder weapon. Objection! Mr. Nero! What is with the yelling all of a sudden? Ugh, force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Mr. Nero, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood, is that correct? Yes, all that blood, drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine. So, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. What? I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky. They think you saw me hold it when I discovered the dead body in the elevator. Was this very travel wallet, Mr. What? Impossible! Now then, do you still think I am the killer that I killed with a travel wallet? I saw blood dripping from the wallet, I know I did. As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind as to take a whiff, I think you'd agree it's only grape juice. Then... That's right, you mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not in fact exist. No! There, that should clear up that pecky accusation. Hold it! Wait just a sec. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please. She's trembling, and they tacked on please at the end. Sounds like I've got her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light. No! I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of that wallet for myself. She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Mr. Nero, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me. Alright, I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. It seems this passport is all that's in here. As you saw, there was nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet was the murder weapon argument removed. Wouldn't you agree? Hold it! Please, hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is... just as I thought. This travel wallet belonged to Mr. Acme Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. Wallet data updated by organizer. You stole the victim's wallet, didn't you? How dare you? You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet with a murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. Argument, Mr. Mr. Nero's logic. As you claimed, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see. You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How could I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? Rebuttal, Mr. Nero's logic. Well, I noticed one particular thing that's awful about this testimony, or this argument. Specifically, the motive. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? But if we look at this picture, the money's all over the ground, and the wallet had nothing but a passport in it. Objection! I wonder if I might get a word in, Mr. Nero. What is it now? Mr. Nero. I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? It's simply impossible that the motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that. What about this scene would prove the motive for the murder was not the money? Take that! If I may direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. That's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer was after. I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with this killer. And I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money. But the wallet... Objection! Ah, yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hicks's passport. If you are really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, claiming that it was all for an empty travel wallet, Forgive me! Please! Hey, what the heck? Are you saying that the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer? Ha! Don't believe it, everyone, it's a trick! Will you all please be quiet? Mr. Nero? Yes? You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus, the lounge was dark, and looking into the light from the elevator, it's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought that I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you for releasing me. What is it now? What turned it? What is it now? Mr. Nero, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Burkinian, but it's funny, it's Burkinian, but I'm using like fragments of Chinese and random stuff. I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... I said that he is giving me runabout! I don't require an interpreter, I speak English as well, see? You, the attendant! Yes, sir. I want this person to be under the arrest until we arrive at the airport. I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I'm finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why would like me to be held under arrest to do that.
You! How dare you try to waste my time?
You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. Welcome to the Discord.
I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are, I see through you! Insolvent! Yes, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it in English.
Well, I'd hope that I don't dissolve in water, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name.
I am Zinc LeBlanc II. I'm a very wealthy man in the Bourgogne. But I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty.
Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now?
Pardon?
When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout?
I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I do not even have a second to waste. Time is money, as they say.
Yes, and yet you continue to blather on.
I saw it. Yes, I did. I saw the victim go into the elevator. Going down to the lounge. It was exactly at 6 o'clock.
And what's the significance of that time? At 6, he says.
Wait,
You saw him at 6? Well, what's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth?
he understands, I see. Mr. Attendant, what time did you discover the body?
Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15.
Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in the 15-minute time span. And only the person in the lounge at that time was this... And the only person in the lounge at that time was this prosecutor. Yes?
Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice.
I was interesting. The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No compliant, I see. Not a single word against us, right?
I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me.
Oh, so you say. You have what you say, the evidence.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you are quite certain of what you saw? Enough to give testimony?
Of course. I was looking at that man the whole time. He was playing with that annoying little small machine the whole time.
Machine?
Yes, that's what you people call it in English, yes. It was making me crazy with the click, click, click.
From that description, it sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is a cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A simple cell phone? A laptop will organize what I can see, but that's kind of low budget.
I hate that bogus little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw.
Mr. Nero. Yes? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit.
I don't like the sound of that fox in the duck pen. Yes, I think that is how you say it in English.
It's fox guarding the hen house, and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all among the remaining notes. Mr. Nero, if you wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say.
Ha! This should not be approved.
Please, Mr. LeBlanc, in an emergency, all decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now, please wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back.
You are not planning to erase evidence when you're doing your investigation, yes?
Of course not.
Ha! We will see.
Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene.
What? Unbelievable!
I am in your debt, Mr. Nero. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course, I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural, as I am still a suspect in this case. I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to touch the partner button. It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. March 12th, 7:26 a.m. Flight I-390, first floor lounge. I want to thank you for your help back then, Mr. Nero. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you to that extent. I don't want you to think your standing with me has changed. I see. I will bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain. He wanted you to know that. You reserve the right to stop your investigation if you feel you're not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time. So my time runs out at his cruise discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is the only place you can think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After first-class passenger was accounted for, or after every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat. We made a thorough search of the plane. As for Mrs. Economy class, no one can move between those two classes of first class without a staff keycard. And we found no record of a keycard being used at all. Which means that I have a first class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near this crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Begin investigation, first floor lounge. Okay, so at 9:15 in 16 minutes we will end the first episode here. Now then, let's get started. But where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means that the killer was around somewhere. Where was the killer? What clues point to where the killer could have been? If we're to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. So let's start right away with that, I suppose. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Okay. 1 second. There, you've been promoted to Phoenix Wright on the Discord server. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up before... Oh, we must clean that up... Oh, we must clean that up or something like it. Aha! Yeah, of course. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence. What is the important piece of evidence in the scene? Well, there are footprints for starters. Take that! What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we can both agree that they are a set of footprints. Spilled grape juice. There's some spilled grape juice on the floor in front of the elevator. So you think... Yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe sizes of everyone in first class. I don't think that would be of any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. That's unfortunate. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard. So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second elevator. The victim's body was found inside the elevator that connects floor 1, or the first floor with the second floor. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. What is this sinister-looking figure on the floor here? Oh, that's a piggy bank of our company mascot, Mr. Highfly. It's just one of the many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition. This bank is a limited edition, so it's so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Higgs's body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? Murder weapon, Mr. Eyefly. The blood on it is still fresh. Could this be the murder weapon? I wonder what was hanging off of his lanyard. Something's missing from this picture, and if I could just put my finger on it. Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Higgs's wallet at some point. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in an elevator on this flight. So Mr. Higgs, he's really dead? Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a corpse right there. Mr. Higgs, if you're really dead, then please answer yes. I see she's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Higgs' head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Blunt force trauma. Wound on the back of Higgs' head suggests blunt force trauma, but what caused it? Even his glasses are broken. Broken glasses. The victim's glasses are broken. Were they broken during this murder? we've got a lot of it. We've got a lot of information here. Let's see. Perhaps, since there's fresh blood on the Mr. Eyefly, and he was hit by something to cause blunt force trauma, well, we might want to surmise. A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I think I figured something out. Yes, what is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the master of the obvious title? Oof. Savage, eh? Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps this master of the oblivious would be more befitting. Mr. Eyefly piggy bank data jotted on my organizer. Let's think here. Come on, Miles, think. Well, hold up. The killer could have been in the elevator with the victim, actually. Right? True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. In the elevator with Hicks? If only I could prove that the killer rode the elevator with Hicks. But their footprints leading away from the elevator, and that just spilled grape juice. So just wait. I have it! I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes, it's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather, the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact. This very fact. That someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing as how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But can the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? Ah, but if you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. Grape juice footprints data jotted on my organizer. Very strange. The in-flight shop is just beyond the shutters. But we don't have permission to open them, so I'm afraid I must leave them closed. There must still be clues to be found here in this lounge, and I must remain ever vigilant. This door leads to the in-flight attendant. This door leads to the flight attendant's room. But please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel. The room is giving off the scent of woman's perfume. One would think that perfume would smell great, however to me it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies behind this door. Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. What or who is this? This is a bronze statue of the founder of iFly Airlines, Mr. Hugo iFly. The one on the left is of when he was in his 40s, and the other is of him in his 80s. Did the man actually age in the span of 4 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. Spilled grape juice may pool out of my feet. Unfortunately, the light scent of grapes obscured by the unpleasant smell of the crime scene. This scent in the air. It's the same smell as the smell of my towels after they come out of my home dryer. Oh, I would have never expected something like that by looking at you. I suppose everyone has something unpleasant about them. There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope you won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. It's a picture. It looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. Photo of Mr. Hicks data jotted on my organizer. Oh, I see something strange here. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? EUREKA! Mr. Hicks's machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Miss Tenero. Miss Tenero. Ah, so I guess because it's not here. Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. Missing cell phone data jotted down in my organizer. Investigation complete. What's going on over there?
Donko! Song Shui Shao Dong Dao Dashui. Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late! It is the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late.
But the movie...
What? I will not talk to you. You're just wasting my time.
What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there's no emergency, please return to your seat, sir.
Do not tell me what to do! I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you're innocent yet?
If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now.
What? Nonsense! Are you saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken?
Not mistaken, merely that there's room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more.
Fine. Suit yourself!
Testimony what I saw.
I'm certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at that time, must be the criminal.
Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seem to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me.
So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come. Let me see. Hurry! Do I look like a man who is having the time to wait for you?
Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow and fast. Rebuttal what I saw. Okay, this is a good spot to stop, honestly. Because it's about 9:15 now, and I'll upload this video to YouTube if you got the link in the Twitch chat. And you're in the Discord now, it's good. But I will likely either for sure play tomorrow or on Sunday, if that's cool with you. Will you be around Portland? No, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you don't happen to be around, I will put it on YouTube, and then you can see them from there if you'd like. Okay. Sweet. Alright then. Sounds great. Thank you, Portland. I really appreciate your support, because not many people support this much. Thank you. This was a successful stream. Good night.